Hi everybody, welcome to the channel, Ron Rose PI. It's my channel. This is where I share case files or cases that I worked when I'm a retired police officer and I'm a private investigator. And I also do video reviews of, I'll look up videos on YouTube like everybody else, and I'll go over them because I'm director of training from a company, and I go over a lot of videos because my job is to keep my guys alive and safe. And so I go over a lot of videos and I try to, I'll opine on them and just give my opinion, which doesn't really matter because, I wasn't there and I don't really know the extenuating circumstances, but, you can watch certain videos and you can get an idea of what's going on. And I just saw today, because I just did a training module today with a group of guys, and I was thinking about the use of force because we went through the levels of the use of force, and I've been reviewing a lot of these videos, and I read some of the comments, and it's kind of pathetic because a lot of people, some of these are officer involved shootings and police officers die or suspects die, and some of these people it's like a joke. This isn't funny. It's never a joke when someone dies. They have mothers, that's somebody's son. Some mother is son, and they're passed, whether they're a good guy or a bad guy, whether they deserve it or not, whatever. But you know what? They have mothers, and sometimes they have wives and children. So, it'd really be nice if the people that are leaving comments would just knock that crap off. That's not right. Just knock it off. If you don't have anything good to say, remember, come on, what did Thumper say? If you don't have anything good to say, don't say anything at all. Pretty simple. So, there's my soapbox. But today I want to talk about the use of force. Use of force, and there's 5 levels of the use of force. And I don't think that people quite understand that. When you're a police officer or you're a security officer, you don't just get to show up and start shooting people or whacking them with your baton or spraying them with your pepper spray. It's not the way it works. It just, it just doesn't work that way. Now on TV it does. Dirty Harry, he shoots 3 people before he gets on shift, and then he goes on his shift, and then he goes home. Never write a report, never sees a shooting review board, just goes home, doesn't even clean his gun, just shoots somebody on his way home, and then he goes to sleep. It's not the way it works. Okay, that's not the way it works. So anyway, the point is this: there's 5 levels of the use of force, and every officer and every security officer is supposed to follow the use of force and the escalation of force. It's use of force, but it's an escalation. 1 through 5, escalation of force. You start out at the bottom, and the last one is lethal force. And it's unfortunate, and sometimes it's very necessary. And look, sometimes you don't get to go from 1 through 5. Sometimes you show up, you walk up to a car, they start cracking off rounds. Boom, you're from 1 to 5 in a heartbeat. And hopefully it's not your heartbeat. Hopefully it's their heartbeat, especially if they're shooting at you. So I just thought I would take a quick couple of minutes and go over the use of force because, a lot of my guys that I train, and they watch my stuff, and hopefully they'll watch it and they'll learn something. The whole idea is to learn something. And I set up this channel so people could just click on my stuff, spend a few minutes and get away from the stresses of life. Listen to some of my stories are pretty funny. I mean, look, some of this stuff you just can't make up, really. Some of it's pretty funny. Some of it's a little serious. I mean, one of my videos I told about the night I got shot, close range, right through the chest. That wasn't funny, okay? But some of the stuff is. I mean, I pulled in behind a car the driver was dead drunk and dead asleep in the middle of the street in the middle of the night, and thought that I was her brother and she was in my driveway at my house. It was hilarious. So some are funny, some aren't funny. But anyway, use of force. So the first escalation of force, the force options, there's only 5. The first one is just being there. Command presence. I'm a former Marine. Any Marine out there knows, you see a drill instructor, I don't care if they're all the way across the grinder. That's a drill instructor, and that person has command presence. That drill instructor has command presence, and you just know you're going to do what they say. It's the way they stand. It's their presentation. It's everything about them. Drill instructors exude command presence. You look at command presence in the dictionary, and there's a picture of a Marine Corps drill instructor. That's just the way it is, okay? So that's the first one. Just being there, command presence. The way in which you comport yourself in your professional atmosphere. That's command presence. Okay, just being there. And that's the first force, that's the first level of the force options. The second one is verbalization. So you show up, or it's like you're at the bank. The guy that works at the bank. I mean, my first armed security job before I was a police officer. I used to work a restaurant. I'd sit in the parking lot all night. I hated it, but it was the job, right? So I go in one night, I eat my dinner, I come out, across the street, it looks like a police convention because they had an armed robbery at the restaurant across the street because we had an armed guard, they didn't, so they got hit and we didn't. Because people are watching all the time. The bad guys are watching. That's why they're bad guys. They're inherently lazy. They want to take the easy way out. Pretty simple. So just being there is very important. First one, command presence, just being there, not saying a word. Second level option, force option, is verbalization. Can you please do this? Can you please do that? In a calm and respectful tone of voice. You don't raise your voice. You don't yell at somebody, calm down. Who's going to calm down when you're yelling at them? Command presence, just being there. Verbalization is the second one. Third one is you really try to do just empty hands, no toys, no weapons, empty hand control holds. Take a hold of somebody. Not as easy as it sounds. I've been a martial application instructor for over 30 years. I've been training for over 40 years. Believe me, if you think it's easy rapping and grappling with somebody, it's not, especially if they're upset or angry or wired or high or whatever. Deal with somebody on PCP. That's like the e-ticket. Well, Disneyland doesn't have ticket books anymore. That's how old I am. The ticket books from Disneyland. Used to call it the e-ticket ride. There's no tickets at Disneyland anymore, but believe me, deal with somebody on PCP, it's like a roller coaster ride. It's like whatever. So command presence, just being there. Verbalization is number 2. And then empty hands, no toys, empty hands, control holds, arm bars, and all that stuff. Generally the stuff that doesn't work on anybody really anymore because people are just, they're just bat nuts crazy. They don't care. Most of the time, if someone's going to be violent, control holds, it's really difficult to take charge of somebody without hurting them. So that's the first 3. Then the fourth force option, as you go up the scale, is toys. And I call them toys. I shouldn't call them toys. This is what I call them. But it's your baton or your mace or your stun gun or your taser, or now they have pepper ball guns, and I am a big fan of pepper ball guns, I got to tell you, because you're popping somebody with a pepper ball gun, and it's like getting hit with a paintball gun. If you ever played paintball, it hurts, man. Paintball guns hurt, but it's busting open. So you're getting hit with pepper spray gas, but you're getting popped with a very non-lethal, it's like somebody throwing a marble at you. Ping! They throw a marble at you. It's like, it's a little blunt force. It's not much. It'll leave a little bit of a bruise, but then it busts open and it's got pepper spray, so you can't breathe, you can't see, and it kind of really discourages anybody who's really not seriously gonna try to, if they're really bound and determined to do what they're gonna do, they might be able to move through that. But if they're like just a little intoxicated or a little agitated, that pepper ball, that will dissuade them. And it's a wonderful deterrent, and it's a great option to lethal force. Believe me, that's just the way I see it. So first thing is just being present. First option. Second level option is verbalization. Third level option, control holds, right? Fourth level option is your toys, your stun gun or your taser that don't really work, especially if you're wearing heavy clothing. And OC spray or pepper ball or your baton, which is still, batons are, I'm not a big fan of batons either, but because it's in close and too many things can go wrong with batons. So that's the fourth. And then the fifth force option, unfortunately, is lethal force. That's your pistol, your firearm, or your shotgun, or your sniper rifle. And it's unfortunate that they have to be used. Sometimes they do have to be used to save the life of yourself or another. But the 5 levels of use of force level options, it's real simple. That's what they are. Presence, verbalization, empty hand control holds, all your mace, your stun gun, I call them toys. I shouldn't probably call them toys, but the toys, the batons and the stun guns and the mace and the tasers that don't work. And then the last one is lethal force, unfortunately. And that's your pistol or your rifle or your sniper rifle or your shotgun. So, you know, I've been in circumstances where all of them have been used and none of them have been used. And you can watch videos. You can watch lots and lots of videos. I'm going to do a video about that. I watched one where they pumped this guy full of everything possible. I mean, they hit him with the beanbag rounds. They hit him with the tasers. They hit this guy with everything, and he just was not. I mean, I don't know, man. That guy was just bound and determined, I guess. And they finally ended up dumping him, unfortunately. So that was a quick video that I wanted to do. It was just on my mind because I just did that training. I just did that training class just a few hours ago. So it was on my mind, and I thought I would throw out a quick video. You know, hopefully, if you're watching this, hopefully you learn something. And my channel is just a place where you just, you know what, look, you can see, I'm in my office here. I don't know anything about videos. I just do them because I do them, you know, and I'm trying to help people stay safe and stay alive and give somebody something to think about other than the stresses of life. It's just ridiculous what's going on today. This is Thanksgiving week 2021. And it's like the stress that's going on. Everybody's so stressed. It's nuts. So check in, watch a video for a few minutes, learn something, don't learn something, live somebody else's life for a few minutes, listen to a story, listen to a training video like this one or watch one, whatever. And if you don't like it, then watch somebody else's channel. I don't know what to tell you. If you do like it, you know, hit the like and the subscribe and all that, whatever, you know, whatever, because I do this all the time. It's just what I do. Anyway, listen, wherever you're at, thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Thank you for the support. And wherever you are or whatever day or whatever year this is, whatever time you're watching this, hopefully you're safe, your family's safe, whether it be day or night. Have a good time. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.